friends, welcome to the show. Welcome to the grilling side of things. Well, hi friends, welcome to Thanksgiving today. I'm going to do the best I can because I got a microphone head way up in here. And you know, it's Thanksgiving. Everyone's here to visit, including 147-mile-an-hour winds, to make things extra fun today. So like I said, friends, we're going to get into the grilling side of things a little bit. Here I have my chimney starter all ready to go, which was mildly a challenge in itself today just because of, well, sad weather. But nevertheless, guys, let's do this. Oh, I forgot one thing. There. Nobody wants a dry turkey, myself included. There, that'll help combat that problem. Let's get this down in here. I like it. All right, now I need to put some charcoal on either side, then some more charcoal, then the turkey. That's good on that side. Should have had more on that side. Oh well. Is what it is. Can't change that now. But I can add to it. We're going to need this whole bag today. All right. Let's give that some minutes. Let's see, is she coming up? Oh yeah, perfect. Now, friends, I know you're all seeing this on Sunday most likely, and it's not Thanksgiving anymore where we're at, but sometimes it's just how it works out. Well guys, that's climbing up nicely. Let's go get my little masterpiece here. So guys, just for your FYI, this is what I did today. So guys, there's my birdie. I got it all seasoned and ready. I've had it brining in a bucket of salt water here for about the last 6 to 7 hours. I've just had it sitting out here for 10 or 15 minutes with the seasoning on it. I'm ready to throw that bad boy on. My barbecue here, guys, is nice and smoky. This is going to be just right. Temperature's coming up to just about 300 right now. That's fine with what I'm doing. Doesn't that look good? I know it does. Okay, don't fall. Okay, little birdie. See you in 3 hours. There, guys, that thing's roasting away. Let's try and go somewhere a little less breezy, because this is terrible. Oh, there. That's better, guys. Remember this place? The original, the OG JT's Barn and Grill home. The old barn. Guys, I still miss working in this barn sometimes. But, you know, just to keep myself in the thought and in the fun of doing stuff that I have been doing for years out here, there's the old Grand Prix. Now, guys, I just wanted to get an opinion. First, let me start by saying this today. Today's going to be a little bit of Q&A with JT, and some of the questions will be my questions for you guys. And some of the questions that will be stuff that you guys have asked me in the comments that I will remember and try to answer accordingly. So guys, with that, my first question to you, y'all remember the Grand Prix here. Bought this one from a junkyard about 4 or 5 months ago. Got it running pretty good. But there's still a long ways to go on this car, guys. I've got to do, I'm not going to say a showroom paint job on this because my chances are, my thoughts are, this summer I'm probably going to drive this car nearly every day because why not? It's cool. And it has all the parts for working air conditioning, so why wouldn't I? Got me a T-top to fix the one that was busted out. My buddy Hank was kind enough to find me a rear window out of an old Monte Carlo that fits right in there once I get all the dents pulled out of it. And I'm going to do like I do with all my vehicles, guys. Just like the little Fiero there and Black Betty. This one's going to be exactly the same. Painted black. My old boss gave me some new skins for it. So that's kind of where I'm at with this, guys. Now my question to you guys, is there any interest in me doing some of this stuff on YouTube? Granted, guys, I'm not going to do it all on YouTube because this is This is going to be my fun time. This is going to be my escape project for the most part. But I imagine I will definitely put on YouTube when I paint the car. The paint only, probably. I probably won't go through the whole bodywork and primer, and that probably won't do it on this one, because that could take weeks, maybe months, maybe longer. I don't know. It's going to take a while because there's a lot of there's a lot of square feet to cover on this car, my friends. So that's something. But like I said, I probably, when I get to everything done and the car's primered, I probably will do a video on spraying the paint on it so we can kind of get an idea of what it was before and after. I think that might be fun. Now, for all the tedious stuff, like putting brakes on, I got to put a water pump on this car. It's got an oil leak. Not a bad one. It's actually dripping right out of the drain plug. So I haven't dug into it yet. Does it need a gasket? Is the thread stripped out? I don't know the answers to these questions, guys, but I'll figure it out and I'll get it fixed. Car runs pretty good. Probably still going to put a carburetor kit on it, or maybe a different carburetor altogether instead of the dual jet. Maybe I'll, once I pop that off there, I'm curious to see if the intake has the 4 holes instead of just 2. Maybe I'll just put a quadrijet on this. It can't hurt it any. Promise you that. But, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with my little Grand Prix here. A lot of project here, and I can't wait to actually enjoy this car. But it's going to be a little time before I get to that. Now, guys, the Dusty Fiero miniature kit. Nothing wrong with that, per se. I got to put front calipers on it. Just before I parked it in here, I hit the brakes, and it was kind of pulling funny one way, and I've got the calipers. I just have to put them on the car. But again, guys, I'm not driving this car today or tomorrow or even for the next several months. And I got the parts, and it won't take long to put on. So no big deal there. I probably will not make a YouTube video putting brake calipers on a Fiero because, again, I'm a tractor guy. Guys, I didn't build this channel up on working on cars, although I do work on some sometimes. Try not to make a big habit out of it because, well, nobody wants to watch that stuff. I know you guys would rather see me put these beautiful 1016s on the 806. We'll get to that, don't you worry. Oh, guys, sometimes it sure is nice to relax. Tell you what, for the last 10 weeks, old JT here has been one busy dude. Had a lot of exciting things happen to me this year. What a great opportunity it was for me to work with Pete from Just a Few Acres Farm on my 806. Tell you what, we had a heck of a good time working on that. What a tremendous fella. I got to know him very, very well. And it sure was nice having the extra hands around here, guys, because, like I said, without him, I'd have probably got the 806 done. I sure wouldn't have got it done in 2 days, and I sure would have had a lot more questions that he was right there to help me answer. And just with his wealth of knowledge here, that project went together really well. And I got a pretty nice, as you'll see in a couple of upcoming videos, the 806 is going to really, she's going to shine, guys. That's going to be a great old tractor. Sounds like the barn's blowing down. But again, guys, I'm not going to get into too much with the 806 because there's a few more videos coming up on the 806 here yet. So, you know, stay tuned for that. 1085, kind of the same thing. I've been kind of working on that a little bit, getting a little bit of video shot here and there. That's just going to be a nice little tractor. Still have a long ways to go on that, but I don't want to work on, let's just say I don't want to work on one project for too long because I don't want to get burned out of the 806 or burned out of the 1085 because there's a lot to do on both of those. So I've been kind of, what they say, switch hitting, you know. One day I'll work on the 1085, the next day I'll work on the 806, and then I'll go to my actual job for 5 days. No, guys, like I said, not been a dull moment around here in a very, very long time. On top of that, I've also had a lot of my own trials and tribulations to get through, guys. So it's been a really hectic 10 to, let's see, what is it now? November 30th? From about September 7th to now, I've been really, really, really on the go. Almost to the point where sometimes I'm just so busy. I think about so much stuff. 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up because Fluffy's, being a cat at 3 o'clock in the morning because that's what cats do. Little bugger. And then I can't go back to sleep. It happens. Your brain gets misfiring and think about all the things you want to do, all the things you have to do, all the things you could have done differently. Yeah, it's a lot. But guys, hey, those are my problems. I'll take care of that. Now, a couple questions that I've had from you guys. One that I've had a lot lately. Everybody's asking where the basket case was. Now, my apologies. I thought I did a video where I mentioned that the basket case went to go live at a new home. Maybe I didn't do that because enough people have asked about it where I'm starting to think that maybe I didn't. So the basket case went to go live at a new home. So guys, a couple months back, I had Scott list the 1070 up for me for a while just because it's easier for me to have Scott list those tractors and take care of most of the sailing and whatnot, and keeps me kind of out of it. And I don't mind giving him a little commission for that, so everybody wins. And I don't have time to deal with selling a tractor, and my tractors are fairly famous, so a lot of people see them. They might get more attention. So I just have him take care of that. Nevertheless, guys, so he hooked me up with a fella that wanted to buy it. Younger, kind of first-time farmer. He's got some acreage way up north of here. He's going to be using it to do some hay. I thought it'd be a perfect fit for him. He thought it'd be a perfect fit for him. So it went to go live with him. And guys, that's one thing I feel really good about the tractors that I do sell. Most of them are going to young people, and I really, really like that. Same with my 1800, the old Massey Kardashian. She went down the road, go live with a new family, and actually it is it's a cousin to the fella that I got the 1800 from, so it's going right back into their family, which is kind of cool. And again, he's kind of a trying to work his way up farmer. His biggest tractor was 60 horse, and he was looking for a little cheap horsepower. So who am I not to help him out with that, guys? So that worked out good. He's been using that tractor. He got all his fall tillage done with it from what I heard, and everything worked out good. So that makes me very happy. My little yellow TO35. That tractor just turned out to be just not a great fit for what I needed a small loader tractor to do, guys. But actually a relative of mine reached out, and he has a couple other TOs. So he doesn't necessarily farm per se, but he does do a lot of backwoods stuff. So it works very well for what he wanted to do with it. So that all worked out. Same with Allison Chains, guys. Allison Chains actually went same but different. So a guy was wanting to get his younger daughter into tractor pulling, and Allison Chains fit the description for that. So to see Allison Chains all painted up and going to become a puller, that made my whole day. So hopefully that answers some of those questions for you. Next thing I get a lot, this is more of a suggestion that I get, not necessarily a question. I could use a gantry crane. Yeah, probably could, guys, but there's a reason I don't buy a crane. It's just because it'll take up more space. I have a perfectly good forklift, guys, that'll lift just as much as any crane will, and it'll do it in a little bit more practical way for me. I can put that forklift anywhere in the shop I want, anywhere out of the shop I want. I can tie a chain fall to it. I can put a beam on it. There's a lot that I can, there's a lot I can do with my forklift, guys, that a gantry crane, I just couldn't do with it. And not to mention the cost of buying or even building one when I don't have the materials here to do it. So I would have to buy the materials, whatnot. I mean, again, not the end of the world, but for as far as I'm concerned, I guess it's more of a just, I have a perfectly good forklift. It'll lift 5,000 pounds or more if my buddy Scott's standing on the back of it. Go easy on me. But that's kind of where I'm at with that, guys. 90% of the time I'm not lifting anything any heavier than that, and the old forklift is pretty nimble. The old forker can get just about anywhere I need to put it. I can get it in that shop 10 ways from Tuesday, and it's been really great. So there's that. A lot of you guys also ask me if I use any type of a rust converter when I'm painting, or a rust encapsulator, or anything like that. And my quick answer for that is no. Well, why, JT? Why don't you use that? It's the best stuff ever made. Well, I'm sure it probably is, guys, but when I do what I'm doing, I use my Imron primers. I use my heavy-duty industrial primers. I use good paint. I have yet to have anything ever rust back out on me again. I've been painting stuff for a long time with those two products. So the rust encapsulator, as far as I'm concerned, again, guys, it probably works just fine. It's just not something that I use because I use other products to take care of rust, or I don't want to say encapsulate it because the primer is not necessarily an encapsulator, but it does do a good job of preventing my rust from coming back. I can paint it over some surface rust as long as I prep it as well as I can, and I've had pretty good success with it doing everything I need it to do. And again, guys, I can tell you from experience, I've been using that stuff for many years, and I mean, I've never had anything rust back out immediately on me, or even after several years for that matter. Everything's always held its own pretty well. So rust encapsulator, hey, it might be the answer for you guys. Maybe it's the answer for me, but I'm not going to go out of my way to buy any unless I absolutely need it. And I mean, case in point, Optimus Primer, my big dump truck, the frame on that thing was in pretty rough shape. And I just used my power wash and sandblaster and hit it with the Emron primer and just painted it with black Tractor Supply paint. It sits outside all the time. Zero of that is coming back through. That frame is holding up very well. Which leads me to my next question. Where did you get your sandblast and power washing attachment? I got this on Amazon, guys. I'd give you a link, but I don't remember what it is. Just if you were to Google power washing attachment for sandblasting, this is what they'll give you. They'll bring up like 50 of these. They all do pretty much the same. The only thing I've learned with this one, and I learned it the hard way, you got to put it on your power washer and hold it so the nozzle's always up, because once water gets in here, if you're using it this way, it doesn't work. You can't pull wet sand through there, but if you keep your nozzle up so the water just kind of pulls the sand, it creates a little vacuum in here. It pulls sand right out of the bag. This thing works pretty darn good, guys. So I started using that when I was working on the Green Bastard here a couple years back, and no complaints for I think it cost me $25. I might have this one worn out by now. I've used regular silica sand through it. I've used the heavy duty cold blasting stuff, which use that to your discretion. That stuff takes chunks out. It's pretty aggressive, but it all works and it all goes through that thing pretty darn well. So guys, let's talk about something different. How about combines? Obviously, guys, I told you I was parting out my 6600 this year because I just, I had my last straw with it. It did get me through harvest, barely, but that was, and it was an old beat up combine, guys. That thing hadn't been taken care of for a single day up until 10 years ago when I got it. Then it got taken care of. So that thing had 40 years of abuse and just neglect in every possible way. She's just junk. That's all there is to it. So I have parted it out. The engine's gone. Actually made the guy that I got the donor 806 from bought the engine out of that. That worked out great. His nephews come down here. We all worked together. We got the engine pulled out in the afternoon, which I got to say this about John Deere combines too, guys. They don't want you getting the engines out of them things. When I pulled the engine out of my 55, that wasn't bad. But as far as pulling the engine out of that 6600, you got to tear a lot of that 6600 apart. And if people have been in there welding stuff over the years, it makes it even more fun. But nevertheless, guys, we got it out of there. My cousin took one of the chaffers out of it, and then he also had to use the Shiv speed adjustment clutch for the fan. So he's going to get probably more use out of parts out of that combine than most people are, which is fine. It all works out for me and for him. Everybody wins. Now, I also made mention that I wasn't going to buy another combine unless it was a Massey 300 for my collection. Well, guys, I may have rethought that. Let's just say. I'm actually going to go look at a combine here. And let me tell you this, guys. It ain't a John Deere. It ain't a Massey. And it's a Case. So, been kind of wanting to get into a rotor combine. And guys, I tell you what, if I could find the right deal on an 8570 Massey, I would have probably got that. Downside is there are no 8570s in my immediate area. They just don't get run. Everybody runs Case IH and everybody runs John Deere. And I think I had my fill of John Deere combines, even though my 4420 has been pretty good to me. They ain't the easiest thing to work on, friends. There's a lot of, I think this was just a John Deere thing. Maybe it's a Case thing. Maybe it's everybody thing, but it seems like if you have to change a belt or a chain or anything on that combine, you got to pull 5 to 7 belts or chains or belts and chains off to get to the one you need to change. And then 3 more off the next pulley because it's running 3 different things. Again, maybe I'm wrong about that, but never been a big fan of the engine right next door to me and all that stuff running underneath the seat. Again, just makes things harder to work on. But you know what, guys? The 1680 is also a pretty good combine. And 1688 is a pretty good combine. And there are parts galore for those things within an hour of me. Lots of used parts. So I don't know. Again, do I need a combine, guys? Not necessarily, but I'm always low. I have to keep my options open all the time because, well, having two combines is really good, especially when one of them breaks. Having one combine is great unless one of them breaks. I'm just going to leave that right there. Now, I know I don't have anything for headers, but I know Bish makes great adapters to put John Deere headers on Case combines. I don't know, friends. What do you guys think of Case IH combine? Most of them, actually 90% of my neighbors, him, they all run Case IH combines. Interesting point. Now, guys, I still got a lot of projects yet to work on. Speaking of John Deere's, my little John Deere B, I'd like to get a little paint on that. I'm not going to do anything super special to the rest of that tractor. It runs and moves. I don't need it to do anything else. I need it to drive into the front of my driveway, take me for a ride around the block, and look pretty. You know, like a trophy wife. That's really all I need that thing to be. Need her to look pretty, follow you around. Not much more. I don't expect much. So there's that. It'll be just about as useful as my Farmall C, which, again, I made it really beautiful. That was my uncle's tractor, so of course that one's not going anywhere. The B, I don't know. Indifferent with that one. Like I said, I got to get some paint on it and tune it a little bit more. It isn't running all that bad lately, and it starts up every time I go out in my shed to start it, so that's good. But not totally in love with that one, guys. It is what it is. My little Ford 4000, I got to do a little bit of carburetor work on that one yet. I'd like to get some paint on that one just because a lot of the blue paint's coming off and there's all this strange road commission yellow paint under it. And it has turf tires on it, so I almost wonder if once upon a time it was meant for cutting along highways. I don't know. Could have been a couple of things. Maybe it was somebody's fleet tractor of some sort. I don't know. I don't know any history on that thing, guys, but that's a pretty decent running little tractor. The Selecto Slush transmission seems to work like a champ. It's got brakes, PTO works, 3-point hitch goes up and down. Couldn't ask for much more out of a tractor that cost really not very much out of a junkyard. So it can find its places to be handy. The friends, the next thing, kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about today was just what a great, very busy, but what a just wonderful year it's been. I think I'm up about 12,000 subscribers. Thank you to all you guys. I'm really thankful for all the support and everybody checking out my videos twice a week. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And reading and trying to answer almost all comments, because I try to answer almost all of them, guys. I miss a few here and there, but I do my best. I'm only one guy. So there's that. But I do my best, and I'm really thankful. I'm just watching my channel grow over the last 5 years now. Can you believe that? 5 years already. And a lot of you guys have been there right from the beginning and never missed a video. Click, cheers to you. But guys, for me, it's all about fun, and I feel like I'm sharing it with 40,000 of you, my friends. That's kind of a good feeling. I get to the point where I look forward to doing videos so I can share with you what I've been working on, and I feel like we all have our little conversations in the comments, and I like that. That's pretty good. Except for Jerry. Jerry, you just mind your business. So guys, I'm going to go right now, back in the house, spend a little time with Miss JT. Little JT's on her way home from college today, so that's pretty exciting. Haven't seen her in a couple of months, so Dad's pretty excited about that. Sister-in-law's over. Fluffy's doing nothing as usual, because that's what Fluffy does. So, guys, let me pick you up in a little bit here when we start checking that turkey out. Well, friends, we're about an hour and a half into this thing. Let's see how it looks. And let's give her a stab here. Well, she's certainly looking the part. Let's see how we're doing here. We're not doing bad at all. Won't be long now. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a twist. There. That's gonna be good and juicy. Let that breast get to about, I usually pull them at about 160, and that works pretty good. So let's let her keep going. Guys, I promise you, if I could offer you some smell-o-vision right now, you guys would all be ready to eat some supper with me. Well, sometimes, guys, I can't sit in the house that long. It's hard for me to sit still anyway, let alone sitting in the house. So I'm gonna go for a little stroll around here, enjoy a cool beer, kind of reflect on things throughout the day. Look at that sad old bastard. -1 engine. Oh well, this is exactly where this combine needs to be. Well, can't walk away too far from the boss here. Oh, you goofy little bugger. Are you telling me you want to go back in? It's too cold out here for you? Come on, let's go get some turkey. She does like to follow me around kind of wherever I go. She pretends like she's in charge. Well, guys, I think we're probably about there. This baby's looking nice. No more pink stuff in the middle. Let me stab it here real quick and see what we've got. There we go. It's hard to do all that one-handed. There we go. That is just where I want it, guys. So my next trick, gotta pull it and let it rest. And do this. Perfect. All right, in we go. Top of the morning, everybody. Well, I know in your world it's not Thanksgiving anymore. Now in my world it's not either. Our next day in, we had a little bit of snow here last night. I don't mind seeing the snow. Look at that sunrise over there, guys. Still a little breezy, but it isn't as bad as it was yesterday, so at least I can get out here and get a walk in this morning. Kind of stress relieving. A little bit chilly, but that's okay. I'm used to that cold. I don't mind the cold so much. Well, guys, I sure hope that everybody had a nice holiday. If you were fortunate enough to have a 4-day weekend, and I sure hope it was a good one. Hope your wife didn't make you put up too many Christmas lights and Christmas trees, but I'm going to be, so if I have to do it, you have to do it. That's how she goes, friends. Friends, plenty to be thankful for this year, too. I mean, everybody got their crops off. We weren't combining in inches or feet of water. We weren't combining in any water. Hell, it didn't even hardly rain the whole time, which, you know, for growing season, not necessarily the best outcome, but for harvest season, we'll take that. No major breakdowns, no major expenses. Everything's gone. Still walking, so that's good. Feel healthy, gotta be thankful for that. Family's good. A lot of things to think about this time of year, guys. That turkey, I gotta tell you guys, that turkey turned out outstanding. I've been doing my turkeys on the grill like that for about the last 6 years, and they just get better every time I do it. So chances are good I'm going to be doing that for many more years to come. So guys, I guess with that, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks, guys, for sticking around today for all the JT's news and comment, and or whatever you might have called this. Back to work next week. The 1085 and the 806 are going to be taking up a lot of time for the next several videos. Maybe I'll see if I can scoot something in there in between them, just to, you know, break it up, make it a little more entertaining and not so, what is it, mundane, same. We'll see. I'm sure I'll think of something. Well, guys, hey, have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Well, guys, pretty soon, she's going to be plowing season. Pretty girl moved in down the road here. I wonder what Miss JT would think if I went out and plowed her.
I will pop from the backseat of your car and burn your face with a curling iron.
That's not what I meant. Oh, I'm going to be sleeping on the couch.